Here it is, guys, brand new 210 up and running. Still a little bit cloudy just because I use all brand new substrate. I'll show you guys all that later on in the video. But ultimately, I decided that nobody deserves it better than my own guys. So all the African Cichlids from the 75, they all made it into the 210. And let me tell you, they love it. I know some of you guys wanted to see something different, something new. But don't worry, I got something cooking for you. By the way, guys, the channel just went over 10,000 subscribers. Thanks to all you guys. I really appreciate all the support, all the positive feedback that I get in the comments. Believe me when I tell you guys, I feel that love. It's so cool to know that I'm able to help you guys out. But if it wasn't for you guys, the channel wouldn't have grown as fast as it has. I want to continue to do my best to help you guys out, and hopefully we reach another milestone. Who knows what it could be? 50,000, 100,000, who knows? And since there is no telling how far the channel can grow, I came out with these brand new 10K KaveMan aquatic shirts. Limited edition, only available for one more week, and then they're gone forever. So if you want to show you've been part of the gang ever since the 10K mark, then go ahead and get you a shirt. Post it on your social media with the hashtag KaveMan10K. That'll continue to support the channel and help the channel grow. I really appreciate y'all. So upgrading to a new tank is always fun and exciting, and setting everything up is just as fun. Let's go. There it is. Made it home. About to come on in the house.
I don't eat venom.
Have to bring some muscle with me, get this tank inside.
It's like we caught a big fish.
So the first thing I'm going to do, guys, is get this background painted. I'm pretty sure eventually at some point in the future I am going to get another 3D background. But for right now, this is my first 24-inch deep tank. So I think that the black background is going to give that tank even more of a nice deep look. Later on down the road though, don't be surprised if I put a background on this thing. So I'm using this Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch Ultra Cover Flat Black Paint. I can tell you guys right now that this paint is awesome. It went on great. It's very dark and you don't see any light coming from that background. Now let me be the first to tell you guys, I'm not the best painter in the world and I'm very close to being the worst. But the reason why I tell you this is just so you know that if you wanted to paint your background, if I can do it, you can do it. I even made a few mistakes. Paint was dripping all over the place. I had some spots on the glass that just wouldn't take any paint, so I overloaded it with paint, which caused the paint to drip some. I also went ahead and put the second coat on way too early before the first coat was even dry, which caused more drippage on the back. But eventually with the third and the fourth coat, I got it done. I'm using the brush here just to get as close to the tape as possible to make sure there aren't any spots that don't have black paint on it. Any spots that aren't painted over, the light is gonna shine right through and it's gonna stick out like a sore thumb. You can see my wonderful job here on the right side of the tank. You got some drippage of paint, which looks pretty bad right now, but after I cover it with a couple more coats, it actually turns out just fine. So you see here, like I said, obviously it's not the best paint job in the world. I'm not a painter, I'm a fish keeper. But at the end of the day, it's the front of the tank that matters, and from the front, it looks awesome. Guys, this tank is huge. I could hardly even reach the bottom of the glass to wipe the dust off of it. Now comes the fun part. This thing holds a whole bunch of substrate. I'm using all aragonite sand for the entire bottom of the tank. I used 4 30-pound bags of this aragonite sand for the substrate. 2 bags covered the entire bottom of the tank, while the other 2 bags just gave it depth. Even though I rinsed this sand out really well, as you see a few days later, the tank is still kind of cloudy, so it'll take a couple of days for this to clear up all the way. Okay guys, I got the glass painted, I got the substrate put in, and now I'm gonna set up the filters. I'm going with 2 FX6s on this bad boy. One of them is gonna be brand new, and the other one I'm gonna take right off of the old tank. That way I use the seeded bacteria that's already in them to get this tank going. Let's go. So this video isn't about an FX6, but I did want to show you guys really quick how I set mine up and how I connect it to the tank. Okay guys, now that we got the new FX6 installed, I'm gonna go ahead and pull my old FX6 from the old tank and hook it up to the new one, but I might as well do a cleaning on it and get it nice and fresh for the new tank. Let's go. So the old FX6 wasn't too dirty, but I gave it a quick cleaning anyway, just squeeze the sponges out. And now I'm just gonna transfer it over onto the 210. Now it's time to fill this bad boy up, and let me tell you guys, I definitely need a new pump. The pump I'm using currently is way too small. This took way too long. You'll see. I had to speed this part of the video up as fast as my software allowed. During the process, I'm going to go ahead and add the prime, which is going to dechlorinate all of this tap water. I'm also going to add Cichlid lake salt, which I always do, which provides necessary minerals that these African cichlids need. And then I'm also going to add Malawi buffer to help raise and stabilize the pH. Even though I'm using aragonite sand, which is going to help raise the pH, by using Malawi buffer and Cichlid lake salt right now, is going to rapidly increase the pH, getting the tank ready and stable for adding the new guy. Luckily this process took so long, I was able to catch that my original FX6 wasn't starting. And the reason why is because it was actually full of sand. So I actually pulled it out from underneath again, opened it up again, and had to remove all the sand from the impeller unit. Once I got that put back together and put back underneath the stand, it worked like a charm. So after the tank got done filling up, I let the tank sit for about 2 hours and didn't touch it. I wanted to let all the parameters just stabilize. Now let me just make something clear. Using brand new tap water in a new tank is fine. You're essentially just doing 100% water change. All you gotta do is make sure it's the same temperature as your old tank water and the same pH as your old tank water. As far as the cycle is concerned, because I used a seeded filter, my old FX6, this tank is already cycled and ready for fish. I know the temperature is correct because I tested it before going into the tank, but now the first thing I need to do is test the pH. So to me, this color looks like 8.0 or even 8.2. But this color chart really irritates me. That color is also very close to that 7.4 color, which is not where we want to be. So what I like to do as a comparison to the high range pH test, I also do a test with the regular pH test. As you can see, this is so blue that it's bottomed out or topped out at 7.6. So if it's higher than 7.6 on the regular range pH test, that means on the high range pH test, that color must be the 8.0, 8.2 color. That's how I verify it. Now for the real fun part. Let's get these guys over to their new home and just watch how much they enjoy it. Once I got everybody over, I'm gonna add some stress guard into the tank. These guys just been moved, they've been handled, they're feeling a little stressed out, so I wanna make sure everybody is cool. For those of you that know, I got a special treat. This is Flavor Flav coming out of quarantine, going into the main tank with the big boys. Check him out. He's doing really well. He still has a little bit of that sunken belly issue on him, but he's eating very well. His colors are bright and vibrant. His fins are flared all the time. And I love seeing him back in the main tank with all the rest of his boys. Check them out. Look at those colors. Look at those fins. Flavor Flav in the house. A telltale sign of stress in fish is when they're not eating. So being that only a couple of them went after these wafers just tells me that they need some time to chill out. For that reason, I'm keeping the lights out. I want to give these guys a nice calm environment so they can de-stress a little bit. As you can see, the water is super cloudy because of that new substrate, but that's all right. After a couple of days, it should start clearing up. So at this point, I decided that I want to use my Fluval 407 on the 210 as well. Check it out. So along with my two FX6s in the big tank, I'm also going to install my Fluval 407 canister for the purposes of making this a flossing canister only, meaning that I'm only going to install mechanical media and chemical media into this canister. Where this comes in handy is as this filter gets clogged up, because it will get clogged up much more sooner than the two FX6s, it's much easier to pull this thing out from underneath there, toss out whatever mechanical media is clogged up, replace it with some new polyfill, change the chemical media, replace it with some new chemical media, throw this right back into the tank, good to go. So I want to show you guys how I set this up. I got these mechanical sponges set up the same way they always do. Just gonna throw those right back in there. As far as the trays go, this bottom tray is still gonna have the same coarse black sponges that comes in the 407. I'm gonna leave that the same in the bottom tray. Now my next two trays, I'm gonna fill both of these up. Good old-fashioned polyfill. This polyfill is super fine polyester material. It's gonna catch the smallest of particles in your water and give it that crystal clear look. You just grab a handful, tear it off, put it into each basket. Here's one tray. Next tray, same thing. There it is. So going from the bottom, we got the black coarse sponge that comes with your 407. Next tray is polyfill. Third tray is polyfill. And in this last tray on top, this tray is getting the chemical media. I'm going with ChemiPure Blue. This is great stuff. This is gonna make your water crystal clear. It has activated carbon and purigen in it combined together. So check it out. By the way, I'll have links to the ChemiPure Blue and the polyfill in the description below. You pull it out of the container, it comes in its own mesh nylon bag. And when you open it, you'll notice it's a little bit damp because it's actually packaged wet. And if you take a good look at it, you can see the difference of the activated carbon and the purigen that comes inside of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a little rinse in the sink and then be right back. So you wanna give it a quick rinse under your tap just to get that residue off of it before you put it into your filter. I'm going with 2 bags of KaveMan Blue. One 11-ounce bag is good for 75 gallons. I'm going with only 2 just because I want to see it actually do some good work before deciding to add more for the 210. 2 should be enough for now. Both bags go nice and perfect right in that top tray. And there you go, that's all the media you need in here for a flossing only canister. I'm gonna go fill this up about halfway with water and then get it installed on the tank. Now I don't know about you guys, but watching these guys for the past week in this 210, maybe it's all in my head, but I swear they're already bigger. If you guys like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. It helps the video out a ton. And make sure you subscribe right now because I already got the new guys going into the 210. They're in quarantine right now. And next week, I'm gonna show an unboxing video of those new guys. Also, don't forget to get you that shirt. See ya on the next one.